What do you think of the latest March update for your particular clients? And if yes, then how did you encounter those
So
things?
you may get less traffic, you're going to get more conversions. I want the money. You know
How
what I'm saying? Give me the money, right? So I don't care about it's all vanities. If the client didn't get any sales this month from SEO, that's the SEO's fault, not the client's.
Hey, what's up, everyone? And welcome you to the Agency Growth Lab podcast. And this is where we talk with the serious entrepreneurs who has used their proven tactics and strategies to take their agency to the next level. Hey everyone, today we have a very special guest with us, and it's Joseph Kahn from HumJam Agency, who is an award-winning marketer with 25 years of experience in digital marketing and been working as a website developer since 1994 when the HTML was there in place. The things were very new, those ugly looking websites. So there was a time when he was giving a real look to the websites. So impressed. And apart from that, Joseph has been founded many other digital marketing and branding agencies as well in the past. So it's no doubt that he has got a vast experience in digital marketing, and he is going to share a big wisdom with all of us today. So yeah, welcome, Joseph. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. Oh, it's super awesome. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
that's great. Sorry, I know it's 6:30 for you in the morning. I'll wake you up in morning so early. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I've already meditated for an hour before this, so
oh,
I'm good. I'm
oh,
good.
no, that's super good, man. So you just had a very good start for the day already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Meditative and then a coffee is the way.
Yep.
All right.
That's
So
right. Yeah,
Joseph,
some mindfulness, some meditation. You got to get your mind straight before you do SEO. You know what I mean? It's some difficult stuff sometimes.
oh yeah, no, that's true. And before the call, I remember you were trying to tell me something about your this agency, HumJam. What exactly is that? What does that mean actually?
Yeah, HumJam is it's a word. And when we were looking for names of agencies, we could either go with best SEO agency, like a lot of, kind of a phrase or a benefit phrase.
Yes.
Or we could go with something that is unique and brandable and, kind of cool or whatever. And so we spent days on that, like most people or whatever. And so magically, I was thinking about, and I was like trying to come up with, and we'll talk about GPT in a second, like
Yep.
getting Chat GPT to give me ideas or whatever. And
Yep.
Chat GPT said, or not Chat GPT, was another tool back before when we first was doing this.
Yep.
Um, was the idea that you're hum jamming right now. And I'm
Oh,
like, what the heck is a hum jam? And so I looked it up. It was even in the Urban Dictionary. There was it used to be, that was the magic of it. Humjam.com
yep.
was put back on the market a few years ago. So it had it was purchased back in 1991. So it had some rank value,
Yep.
but it was unregistered.
Oh yeah.
Literally, I went to register and could register it, and like today, it's worth like $10,000. But we built that value into the domain name. We built the value. It didn't have the value there without us building it. Right now, if you type in humjam.com, you'll see we own all 50 things of the SERPs. Like if you type that in, meaning we own every listing just about.
Oh,
Um, SERP takeover. That's what we call it. We did a SERP takeover on that. And just like Joseph S. Kahn with the S, the Kahn, just Joseph Kahn. There's a famous guy. Everybody knows Britney Spears and Taylor Swift, right?
sure.
Joseph Kahn is the DJ music person of those two artists, so it's very hard for me to compete with that name.
Compete with that. Sure.
Yeah, like because trying to the knowledge the knowledge base panel was already taken by the Joseph Kahn. So I go by Joseph S. Kahn with an S in the middle. And I own the SERP there, but not with Joseph Kahn because he's already famous. That's like trying to go for somebody really famous. My name is like that. But HumJam was the idea of humming ideas, and then it was available magically and had kind of some history, and we grabbed it. And the person who originally had it was an artist, so that makes sense too. Art, content, and if when we originally, once ChatGPT started coming into the play, when we originally were training ChatGPT, it thought we were a music company.
Oh, yes.
It's like, oh, you're a music company, hum, whatever, whatever. But now, if you ask ChatGPT what's HumJam, it would say it's an SEO agency that blah, 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 blah. But if you first asked it way back in the day, it would go, oh, it's definitely a musician community or whatever. It's like, nope, that's not what it is.
So is that
Um,
when you guys try to call some prospect or something, you try to tell them, hey, it's Joseph from Hamjam. So do they really recognize, is there some music company or like what?
yeah, we don't do any outbound calls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We actually started at the Bugs Bunny. You see Bugs Bunny back there? I coached the grandson of the Bugs Bunny, Chuck Jones. We created chuckjones.com. We sell probably millions of dollars worth of art on our e-commerce
Yeah.
SEO
All right.
for Chuck Jones. But we got that client right off the bat. We didn't even advertise because I was already coaching him from 2007.
Yep.
So when we became an agency in 2020, like right at the pandemic is when we started HumJam. Because I was a musician, and at the pandemic, you weren't a musician anymore because the public was closed.
Oh, yes.
So that was the problem. So I was like, well, what do I do? I had a history of marketing and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I was like, let's do an agency.
And then,
Um,
yeah.
and that's what we did with HumJam. And Chuck Jones said, hey, we need SEO stuff for our website. Can you do it? And I'm like, heck yeah.
Oh, yes.
And that was our first client. We cut our teeth on SEO with Chuck Jones,
Oh, yeah.
which gave us tens of thousands of keywords to play with. Because we had every character from Bugs Bunny to Daffy Duck to Wile E. Coyote to the Road Runner and so we had to target all these phrases, all these different things, all these phrases, and we had plenty of domain authority to play with. So it was super fun to learn what the ranking factors were and dialing in, and we got good results. We could split test fairly easy with that kind of DA, with that kind of domain authority.
Yep.
Meaning you could come up with content and see it rank and see it move really fast when you had authority already there. You know what I mean?
And that was,
it's just difficult to see that movement when you have no authority.
yes, true. And that was like human content at that time. I mean, like, because ChatGPT wasn't there at that time in 2020. So I think ChatGPT.
We had Jasper. We did have ChatGPT. Everybody, that's the thing. Everybody goes, well, we didn't have AI until 3 years ago. False. We had AI when I first started in 1994.
All right.
What do you think an article rewriter is? That's the same thing. Like SpinWriter. How long has SpinWriter been around? At least 15 years.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I created the year 2000, I created the first AI health chat. It was on Access Health Partners, where it was the first not liable health insurance agent, because there was a real problem here in the US in the year from 2000 to 2004, where health insurance companies, before Obamacare came out, health insurance agencies were lying to sell their policies. They were saying this covers cancer, and the person would get cancer and they go to the hospital and they go, you're not covered. So I built a chat engine where they would go to the website and ask health insurance questions, and it would give non-lying answers. It would give real answers, and people could ask it all kinds of stuff in the chat engine or whatever. It was just the same thing. And LLM has been around for 20 plus years. It's just that Microsoft created ChatGPT, and that changed the world. Meaning when Microsoft took it to the next level, but Jasper existed before Microsoft. Do you remember Jasper?
Yeah, that Jasper.ai.
Jasper was integrated with Surfer SEO before ChatGPT even had a name.
Yeah, I know that. I think I was having a subscription of Jasper at that time, and
I was beta testing the integration between Surfer SEO and Jasper.
They changed the name few times, I remember. That's why I'm trying to recognize their very first name. Otherwise, I was having Jasper with that Adam.
Oh God, I can't remember the first name, but it was, they changed it quite a few times.
What something name behind that, something like that. Anyways, so yeah,
Yeah.
praise.
But it's not new. And all of a sudden, once Microsoft came out, then you saw Gemini and Bard and Gronk, and
Yeah,
it's but that wasn't new. It wasn't like that was a new.
yeah, yeah.
The LLM wasn't a new concept. It was just it was brought to market as revolutionary.
That's true. That's
And it was because the adoption rate was enormous. The
yep.
Jasper adoption rate, not quite so much, but the Chat GPT adoption rate went through the roof.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was like everybody all of a sudden thought for some reason we were entering the age of the Matrix.
yeah. So
Like,
let's.
oh, AI was born. No, AI was born a long, 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 long time ago. Didn't you see the movie Terminator? That was a long time ago.
Oh well, well, for me, if you really ask me, I did my master's in artificial intelligence as well. But that artificial
Oh,
intelligence
nice. Yeah,
back in 2006 was different. In my case, because I've done my
totally.
mechanical engineering, so the artificial intelligence was like, okay, this much at this particular pressure, this valve gonna get open, this much slurry will go to the tank. So all that kind
Yeah,
of logic, and there was AI as well. Anything which
yeah.
the intelligent decisions by themselves, that's AI. So yeah,
Anything making decisions is AI. That's not human. That's AI. If decisions are being made by a robot, that's AI.
that's AI. So let's
Yeah.
flash back to 1994 when you said like you
Yeah.
started off as a web
HTML
developer.
1.0. That
As
was a
you- so-
1.0 in
Oh yeah. So
1994.
tell us a bit about like how did you get started with that one? I mean, like you did your development course or something.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I mean, like
The
thinking
the
of
website.
doing the development course itself was a big thing at that time, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, totally. In 1994, the first website that I built back then is still alive today, and
Oh yeah.
still and actually ranking. It's still today.
Oh yeah.
But that's only because it was hand built, hand coded. Like hand code websites do pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It was hand coded, hand built. It wasn't quite so ugly. You had mentioned ugly at the top of the call. It wasn't as ugly as a lot of the early sites. It wasn't just like a everything middle aligned. It wasn't one of those. I actually had a header, had a navigation, had graphics. Back in 1994, and I put it out. I went to Borders, which is a bookstore that's already out of business here in the United States. I went to that bookstore, and this is how it happened. I was a warehouse guy shipping packages out of the back. Okay, because I'm a drummer. So drummers not really known for having desk jobs. We generally are like shipping stuff in the back, or I had long hair. We put we're working in the back of a bar. That's usually drummers, right? So I'm shipping packages, and the guy who owns the company says, "Does anybody know how to do a web page?" And everybody looks at each other like, "What the heck is that?" Like nobody knew. This is back in 1994, and I said, and he goes, "Hey, well, if anybody would like to learn how to do our web page, I'll pay for the training or whatever." And I raised my hand.
Oh yes.
I saw an opportunity. I said, "Me, me, 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 me. Let that be me. I hate this warehouse job, right? Let that be me." So they brought me up front. Like literally, I went to the office, from the warehouse to the office, and they're like, "Okay, so for an hour or 2 hours, you can study and learn how to do our website or whatever."
Yeah.
And I went to Borders Books and bought HTML 1.0, and it was a book about this thick. Like it was a big, thick
Oh,
hardback. It said HTML 1.0 on it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take forever to try to figure this out. But then I figured out that, oh no, all you have to do is copy some other people's codes. You can just see the source code right here. I'm like, whoa, you can see other people's code? That is like, oh, that's going to make this easy. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because musicians, musicians, how do we learn music? We copy the best players. We look at the best players and copy them. So
Yes.
that's why my website still stands today, is because back in 1994, I copied Microsoft.
Yep.
I said, I'm going to do exactly what they're doing because they're going to be the best. And I could see their source code. So I just matched and modeled the best that was out there. Microsoft. That's what I do today. That's a part of my SEO plan, is if you want to be number one in SEO, you got to beat the competition that's there. You got to model my partner always says it's a consensus The top is a consensus, meaning you got to be a part of that group. You can't be an outlier. It's a consensus network, which
Yep.
means if you want to appear in the top 10, you got to look and feel like the top 10.
True. True.
You know what I mean? You can't look and feel like, the top 100 and be in the top 10. That's not the way it works. And so
Yeah.
back in that day in 1994, that's when we first built that website, or I first built that website, was just coded it, hand coded it, put up the catalog, the warehouse. We had casters and wheels, which was the wheels that go on dollies and things like that. So we had a full catalog up and started making money online. And the vendors were like, oh my God, we can go here. We were in the day and age of fax machine back then,
Yes. True.
and the internet was just coming online, and vendors around the world were like trying to find suppliers that had a website that they could order off of the catalog. And so we took our physical catalog that we were shipping around the world and turned it into a web page and reduced like $100,000 in expense. Like
Mm,
my company moved me from warehouse manager to operations manager to purchasing manager, all because I created this web page.
created this web page and reduce the overall workload. No,
Yeah,
that's
I ended up from a warehouse guy who was like shipping packages out of the back to an inventory manager to a purchasing manager doing deals with Korea and China, all because I did this webpage.
so when did you started this your own company? I mean, like when did you left that one? And
Immediately when I did this webpage, because the funny thing is when I did this webpage for Castor Warehouse back then for them as their employee,
yeah,
the people who saw that said, "Who did that for you?"
yeah, yeah.
And they go, "Well, our warehouse guy did it."
You
They're
find it.
like, "This guy did it." And immediately I set up Wolf's Bite. It was called, I couldn't think of a better name. I was into wolves, like the timber wolves. So
Yep.
I created Wolf's Bite, BYTE, as my agency back in 1994. And I built like 20 websites within 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's where I got Hot Dog Pro, then Front Page. Microsoft came out with Front Page. And literally, I built these little, it wasn't like SEO back then. I was building out just what you call brochure sites.
Yep. Yep.
They were, just about us, what we do, a picture of everybody looking happy, a headline,
Yeah.
with some copy and some call to action buttons like information or connect with us or email us, or call a phone. It
Oh
was
yeah.
that kind of stuff. It was real simple, real easy.
Yep.
And HTML, 100%, not WordPress, not any of that.
Now that's
Just
super impressive, and
yeah.
a lot has been changed since then. Like a lot
Oh
of
yeah. Oh my God.
technologies has been come through, and same with
Yeah.
SEO. I mean, like SEO, the thing has been changed even today. I mean, like, what do you think of the latest March update? Because this was one of the craziest one, which made all of us to think like it is a time that we need to diversify our traffic, have to start thinking about adding like a media buying or paid media into the thing as well, into the entire mix. So what do you think about that? Did you
Yeah,
see
that's
kind of like a
uh,
tank in the rankings for your particular clients? And if yes, then how did you encounter that, those kind of things? And
that's great.
it
Yeah.
would be the best way to go, because coming to ChatGPT, coming to Jasper and AI, that kind of a tools, Google, they feel it like they're still okay with those, but they do not want the low level content on the web. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
what?
definitely. And maybe what I can give you can help, because we've done quite a we've been testing AI content since the beginning, and you were talking about an update that kind of hammered a lot of that out.
Yep.
And it's continuing. I don't think we're done with updates when it comes to AI.
Yep.
I think there it's going to be ongoing. But what we're doing right now is Google came out with, and you guys are familiar with, I'm sure, is Eat.
Yes.
And then they came out with the extra E. It's not just about experience. It's also about, it's not just about the expertise. It's also about the experience.
Yep.
And then there's another E. It's also about the engagement. And it's like it keeps changing. But the reason why is because it's now not SEO anymore. That's the problem. See, people are thinking that it's SEO, SEO, SEO. That's old. We're now GEO. It's generative engine optimization. It's no longer search engine. We're not working for the search engines anymore. We're working for the robots. We're working for the AI. So what does the AI want? The AI wants eat. The AI don't want Panda, don't want BERT, don't want all those old algorithms are gone. Okay, so if you're counting on your SEO being those old algorithms, that's not going to work. Sorry. Okay, you can keep trying, and guess what? In some niches, it still works because the deprecation takes a little while. They've been trying to get this eat algorithm going for a long time now. They've been training us for a long time now. It's not like we have any excuses. We can't go, you just sprung it on us. No, they didn't. They told us about this a long time ago. I've been teaching about eat a long time ago, but people are doing it wrong. When we quiz people on it, they tell us what E is, and it's completely wrong. So we're like, well, they didn't train you correctly because you're totally missing the mark. But what were you going to say? Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Say for our listeners who might not be, like familiar with the term EEAT, can you explain a bit about that, please? And
I can.
Crucial to SEO as well.
It's crucial right now, especially because they kind of faked an algorithm change through what the robots would understand without giving you something that could be gamed. Because what we do as humans is want to game, and we want to game something. We want to make it. We want to just totally like that's why you have spam checkers and all that kind of stuff, because we as humans want to exploit the heck out of everything. So EAT was created to give us the model of what interacting with robots AI is like, and they gave us the model EAT. So EAT stands for, there's two E's. This is the official Google EAT. Okay, the two E's is EEAT, and it stands for experience, which means the customer's experience on your web page. So if you have web pages, you need to have testimonials on those pages, customer quotes on those pages. If you don't have customer quotes or testimonials on those pages, you're missing the experience of the customer. Okay, that's number one. And that's the biggest violation. And you're not going to rank in the robots aren't going to trust you unless there's trust on your page already. If it's not, so we integrate quotes of testimonials in our articles because that's the part of the experience. Okay, so that's experience. Expertise is the qualifications to create the content. So the biggest other violation is that people are creating content that don't have an author box. Number one, no author box, violation. Author box, but the person writing it is not the owner of the company, has no training around the topic, has no certifications. The LinkedIn lookup or hookup, entity hookup has no, that's the problem. So if you have an author on the page that's got some expertise that's connected, whether it's Google, Indeed, whatever it is, it's connected to that author. There you go. Boom. You got that one. So you got the experience because you got a quote on there by the customer. You got the expertise because your entity is connected to some. So if you're an agency, and listen to me right now, and you're writing content for local businesses, you got to write that as the local business, meaning you're not writing as yourself for the local business. You are writing as the owner of the local business. So when you finish the article at the bottom, the author box is the owner of the website, not you. Okay. Because that's how it ranks with the content has to come from the entity and have the expertise. And the writer is not going to have the expertise on how to fix an attic or how to fix plumbing or any of that kind of stuff. So that's got to be connected. The robots will not put you there if this is not connected. Okay, so that's another one. But so that's experience, that's expertise.
That can only happen for the inner pages or the blogs, but can't be happen for the homepage itself, because on the homepage, we can't really add an author box or something.
Right, but where the homepage, you're talking, right. So keep in mind that it's an engine, so the homepage authority will link to and comes from the about us.
Oh yes.
Not the blog pages. The blog pages needs the author box on it, but the home pages and potentially author pages link to the about us content, and about us has the authority connection.
It's the authority, yes.
If that link isn't there, then you're in trouble.
Yep. True.
But
And
generally speaking, that link will be there on the homepage. The About Us will be somewhere around there.
somewhere
So
around.
that generally is where you're going to get the authority for your homepage is your About Us connection.
So I'll go a little more deeper into this expertise, because I think that
Yeah.
really makes a lot of sense. Now, when you say the author boxes, owners, certifications, company team page can be on
Yeah.
the website as well. About us kind of things can actually happen.
Even company employees can also be,
Got it.
ghostwriter authors or whatever, as long as they've got the expertise of the content. See, that's the biggest thing, is that what Google was trying to fish out was all the misinformation.
Oh
And the
yeah.
misinformation came from writers from the Philippines, from all these outsource agencies. And we've seen it as an agency where we go in and look and audit people and see that the content wasn't written correctly. You go, well, this person didn't understand what cleaning out an addict was. Like, they just didn't understand it because maybe they weren't college educated. Maybe they weren't, so Google's like, we got to get rid of all this junk content, even
Yep.
if it ranks, because what did that person do? They may not have understood how to clean out an addict, but they did understand how to put the keywords in the right place.
Oh yeah.
So they
Yep.
got the ranking, but the person who read it said, this is crappy, and then went to Yahoo instead. And Google's like, we can't have that. We got to make sure when people type in the stuff, that when they get the page that comes to them, that it's actually real legitimate content from a real legitimate expert.
Oh yeah. And that's a
So that's why. Yeah.
knowledge panel as well. So, but that's a white hat.
Yeah, and that's
How
why
about
when you
the
said March update at the top of the call, that's why you see a bunch of stuff
SEOs?
happening, is because they didn't have the expertise established and they didn't have the experience established. And so you're going to get wiped. Meaning that's just two main things, and that's easy things too. When we go and clean up clients, it's easy. We rank them and get them up and get them running. It's not difficult at all. What we do with E is super super easy. It's formulaic, it's harmonic, it's a blueprint. It's easy because it follows eat to the T.
Yep.
Our harmonic formula is eat, but we just say it in a different way. But it's the same exact connection. And we add an extra E, which is engagement, because we believe that engagement, when you engage from social media to the property on the page, we believe that's a signal. Can't confirm it. And I believe that Google's going to come out eventually with that extra E, because it's in the Google Analytics in GA4. They added that as another tracker, is engagement. So since they added that, I think that's a factor. Meaning, I think there's 3 E's: engagement, expertise, experience.
Yep.
And then authoritativeness. This is the other thing. If we go there real quick, because expertise also goes down with authoritativeness. But here's what authoritativeness is: the A is being on Twitter, being on YouTube, being on Facebook, having an article here, having a post on the newspaper here, that's the authoritativeness. So if you want to rank your client, or your client's got to be ranked, then you've got to create more content. You've got to have more properties. You've got to be attached to more things where you're talking about the topic. You're not authority unless you're shown in 7 or 8 more places.
Yep.
So if you can't be found, whoever wrote that article or that content on that about page for your client, if they can't be found in 7 or more places, you're missing that piece of the generative engine algorithm. So you need to make sure that they have a Facebook page, that they have a LinkedIn page, and then make sure they're posting on those pages. And then that builds your authoritativeness. So if all of a sudden you now are talking about roof repair on this and roof repair here, and you have a YouTube video on roof repair, and then Google finds your article on roof repair and checks your authoritativeness and sees all that, your rank is going to go up on that page. See, people have no idea that's how it works today, but that is how it works today. Eat is the way it works. Like, it's not this old spammy the backlinks anymore. That's
or there or up to the bottom. So
yeah, it's not how it works anymore. This authoritativeness has to be there now.
Yep. And the
Meaning, if you're just focused on one page, you're going to struggle, because the top 10 has this authoritativeness. They have all this connectivity. They're going to expect you to have all that connectivity too. If I wanted to come out as a rock star, I have to have a manager. I have to have publicity. I have to have all these things. I can't just come out without all those things.
Yeah.
So today, that's the way the authoritativeness works. You have to come out with content, videos. Videos are good, like TikTok or Reels or whatever. You put those out, you get that authoritativeness score up.
Yep. True. True.
Yeah.
And the last one comes down to the trust, the like what kind of trust signals that again brings back to having reviews and that kind of
Oh,
things.
yeah. Yeah,
Just
especially for local, this trust comes down now. Now, trust for e-commerce and trust for e-commerce is generally reviews, like you
yep,
said, product reviews, different things like it's the review thing, which is why we also include testimonials on our pages
yep,
from we have a plugin from Google, from Facebook or whatever, because the trust is built from another platform. You don't
yep,
build the trust on your web page. So when you see that trust down there, what that means is that you're engaging and answering. Well, here's what's interesting, because we've split tested this. We've gotten a higher ranking even on bad feedback just by responding to the feedback,
hmm,
even if it was bad. Meaning Google don't care if it's bad. They care if you respond. They care if you engage. They care if you're there for the customer. It's about trust, meaning this person was mad, but you came back and said, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. How can I help you? How can I make this right?" Google sees that, and you're, even if it's a 1 star, but you come up under a 1 star and say, "Hey, sorry about that." That's going to get you ranked. That's going to get you ranked higher. You don't need 5 stars to rank higher. You just need response,
yep,
engagement.
yep.
Yeah.
Now that
Now, good reputation, if you are ranking 5 stars or 4 stars, that will also count in your favor.
oh yeah,
But if you're ranking 1 stars, but you're giving feedback, they'll also give that in favor, because they're looking for trust. They're
so
looking for, they're trying to eliminate the scams.
yep,
So having a, I'm losing the blank, but there's several companies out there that'll test your security and make sure that you don't have any malware, scamware, or whatever.
yep,
Malware on your site, making sure, that's another thing on the trust, is if you're using WordPress, it's updated. The plugins are updated.
I did. Yep,
Yeah. If anything associated with your site that loses trust, from security, from malware, from HTTPS, from any of that kind of stuff, that is in the trust
oh
part of
yeah.
the algorithm.
Now,
And you responding back to a client on Yelp, on Google, on Facebook, or whatever. If you're responding back, that builds trust.
yeah.
In comments on your blog, if you're responding back on a comment on your blog, that shows them, oh man, they're engaged. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a
Anyways, that's the algorithm, and that is the generative engine. It's different now. It's not BERT, Panda. It's not all that kind of stuff. It's now EEAT, and that's to drive the robots. Because what we're doing now, since you said, "Oh, ranking's gone down" and stuff like that, we're actually getting more targeted. Um, the rankings are going down, but what's going down is the junk traffic.
junk traffic.
What's
Exactly right.
junk traffic? Yeah, the junk impressions, the junk stuff that really had no impact.
So Google does not have a problem, you mean, with the AI content. They have a problem like whether you are covering this EEAT properly on your website or not
Correct.
on the other platforms which are connected to that or not. Now that
Correct. And we call it cyborg. Google has a problem with copy and pasted AI content.
oh
If
yeah.
you copy and paste from ChatGPT, from Claude, from Grok, if you copy and paste from any of those, you will not get ranked.
Oh yes.
We've tested that. We've tested that till we were blue in the face. Okay, we've tested hundreds of pages of ChatGPT content for ranking, and Google will not budge.
Yep. So you reckon
Now,
that
what Google will budge on, and I could rank content right now in this call with AI, and
yep.
you go, well, how are you doing it? Well, here's how I do it. It's super easy. It's called Cyborg.
Oh yeah.
Cyborg content. What's cyborg content? Part human, part robot, right? That's
Yes.
the only way. You got to enrich the
Yeah.
robot content with human stuff. Okay, that's all you have to do. It's cyborg. We call it cyborg content, which is half human, half robot, and that allows you to do it fast. But the humans got to be in there to manipulate it.
I guess people that take a lazy approach, that's what up here. They feel
Lazy, yeah. Google don't like lazy.
they click the button. They use the softwares like Zimwrite or someone. They put in like a one
Oh
for
yeah.
into that, click the button, and next day the whole website is fully jammed with the content. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
just do a publish and pray approach, feeling like, hey, that maybe I'm gonna get like a million traffic on my website very soon because I've been covering that kind of content. They might be for a short run, but not a long-term approach. But yeah,
The
that
best way to do it with
yep,
ChatGPT. So we have a prompt that will literally create the content for you, but then you have to enrich that content. How
yes,
you can reach everybody here listening to this, how you can enrich the content is easily through a an SEO brief writer or writer like Surfer SEO. You've heard of Surfer SEO. That's
yes,
the one that we use because we literally take the Chat GPT written thing. We have a prompt, and I'll share that with you if you want to share it to the listeners. We have a Chat GPT prompt that basically tells it fill in the blank of the niche, fill in the blank of the all the things that it needs, and then it writes the content. But we create that brief on Surfer. So Surfer tells us you need this many images, this many H1s, because it does analysis. Remember the consensus. It does an analysis on I target who I want to compete with on Surfer because you can hone in and say not Yelp, not Angie's, because I want to Fred's junk removal. This one I want to. So then it creates content and says, here's what you need. You need this many images, this many. So when I tell ChatGPT to write my content, I tell it based on the Surfer brief. So it's not regular Chat GPT because regular Chat GPT doesn't have the Surfer knowledge. So I grab that brief, post that, and paste that and say, hey, Chat GPT, take my script brief from Surfer and rewrite this article with this many keywords, with this, targeting that, this many headers, whatever, following the Surfer brief. It rewrites that. And when I post it down to Surfer now, it's like an 80 plus score on Surfer. Like because it hones in on all the things that Surfer told me I needed.
oh yeah,
Then this is the critical key. It's already cyborg content because ChatGPT didn't write it by itself. It used Surfer now to rewrite that content now based on SEO stuff. So it's going to be completely unique and original because Surfer made it completely unique and original with its criteria. Then we take the same people that we've targeted and we look at those pages and see, did we miss anything? Is there any content there that also belongs on our page? And we'll go and rewrite, restructure, reimagine that content and make sure, here's the key, that our page, if you're appearing in the top 10 or want to be in the top 10, your page needs to be the best of all the pages. So you need to, if there's an H2 on one of those pages that's not on yours, you need to bring it on yours. If there's a video on one of those pages that's not on yours, you also need a video. If there's 20 images on everybody else's page, you also need 20 images.
yep,
But you can be better. Your 20 images can be named the appropriate keywords. It can be alt text with the appropriate keywords. Like you can do better
yep,
SEO than the top 10. And that's how you're going to beat them. Better
yep.
SEO, cyborg content, and of course there's authority that goes into this too. You're like, there is still domain authority, backlink, different stuff like that, but that's built into the trust model.
Trust model. So as a quick recap, what you are saying is take that prompt, generate the content using the Chat GPT, put that content into the Surfer, then Surfer gonna optimize.
And you can use Nitro, you can use Scale Nut, you can use any writer that's going to grade or score your content to rewrite it. You can use any of those tools.
Oh yes. So and
Yeah.
then that particular
Even Jasper that we had mentioned before.
and the Jasper. So that content plus the mix of EEAT plus a human spy to make sure like what the top 10 companies
Yeah.
are doing, mixing it up, and
Oh
that
yeah.
thing can actually have a more better thing to go rather than publishing like a 500 articles using AI
Oh yeah. Yeah.
information. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's super good, man. So that brings me
And
back
that's
to
what I'm saying. In today's day and age, it's this target. It's being very specific in targeting, and we're getting, because here's the cool thing is that the GEO will tell where we're getting traffic now is when it's saying this answer was found on chuckjones.com.
oh yes.
And they click on that and they come right to our page and they go, and it's a higher quality conversion, meaning the
Oh,
conversions from AI is super high. So you may get less traffic, you're going to get more conversions. But what do we want? Traffic or money? I want the money. You know what I'm saying? Give me the money, right? So I don't care about it's all vanity. It's not about vanity anymore. We can't fake it to the client. We can't go, oh, you're getting 50 visits this month. And they go, well, I didn't get a single sale. That's not our fault.
Oh,
That's
yes,
what we say. That's not my fault. It is your fault.
it is the
If
fault,
the client didn't get any sales this month from SEO, that's the SEO's fault, not the client's.
not the
That's
client.
the problem. Like the SEOs go, that's not me, that's not me, that's me. That is you. You just bad at it.
Yeah. So,
You got to get better at it. Got to get better. Got to get better.
so Joseph, I do have a
Yeah.
question. If I try to put my black hat up here at the moment, when we as agencies, where we got a lot of clients going on, plumber,
Yeah.
dentist, in that particular case, the second factor, which is expertise, how it really gonna work? Let's say there is no particular name on the client side to whom I can use, put the certifications or that kind of things. In that particular case, is there any kind of like a quick Blackhat method which you can think of? Like I can create a LinkedIn page for that particular client. I
Yeah.
can
That,
think anything which you think that we can cheat the system a little bit up here, up to some extent where we do not have any option at all. I really want to know
yeah.
about
We,
it.
we, we don't cheat the system. The word, because a lot of people, even some of the stuff we do, they say we're copying and stuff like that. No, all musicians copy other musicians. There would be no Led Zeppelin if you didn't have the Stones. There would, like, that's just the way it works. We have to emulate or model other
Yep,
people, right? There's just no way around that. We have to do that. Stop making me look bad for calling it. There's no cheating. It's only modeling, right? So
yep,
the expertise, what we have to do, and this is what we do as an agency. If the client comes to us and doesn't have a LinkedIn page, doesn't have a Facebook page, doesn't have any expertise or whatever, we have to create it for them
oh
from
yes,
scratch. We have to make it look like they have it. You know what I mean?
all right,
We have to create it. We have to put a good graphic on it. We have to take a picture of them standing in front of a big building.
yep,
We have to manufacture it a little bit. And
yes.
that's
So
fine. You
we
just
can,
have to create it. Yeah,
okay,
you just have to go this when we do the audit, we'll audit, do they have a LinkedIn page? Do they have a Facebook page? If they don't, it goes on our checklist to create.
to create.
Meaning when we're creating the website, they need an about page, but they also need a LinkedIn page. Meaning our team will create that for them and then
Mhm.
make sure then we would then say, do you have any certifications? Add
Yep,
it to their LinkedIn page. Do you have any Better Business Bureau badges? Yeah, add it to the page, add it to their site. Meaning you gotta pull that out of the client sometimes and
yep,
then manufacture it for them. You got to create it and model it and go, who's their competitor? They have a LinkedIn page. We need to make their page look like their page.
mm,
And you just model it. You just and guess what? All of our label agencies is all ghost written modeled, meaning you model somebody. You could even create an expert in any field that's a ghost expert. Do you know what I mean?
I got.
Just create a ghost LinkedIn page, get some certifications for them, and make a ghost expert if you need to. There's nothing wrong with ghost writing either, or ghost musician. You know how many ghost drummers there are for well-known artists where you'd never know the drummer's name?
Yep,
I mean, that's the same thing. There's no problem with that.
no problem.
Maybe it depends on who you talk to, but to Google and to the Authority Network, there's no problem with that.
Oh yeah, no, that's
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 modeling. Yeah, model somebody and then recreate what you need to model and then manufacture the expertise. You know what I'm saying?
is, yep. Now the man,
Yeah.
trust me, this is a complete a course in itself on the eight, because a lot of people I can see in the groups, in the Facebook groups, they've been screaming and all that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, we got a hit of couple of websites as well. Now I need to go back, have to check it out, like what actually happened with those particular client size for my agency. But I can definitely say that yes, there are few things which definitely a lot of people, including myself, I admit to that, we are missing in the complete mix.
Oh
So
yeah.
and
Yeah.
this EEID is definitely going to help a lot in that. So
And the funny thing about it is we've just talked to and interviewed like what one of the things that HumGem does now is we go in and help agencies train them and see where they're missing the mark and what's going on, especially if all of a sudden the agency is seeing a lot of people leaving their company. You
Yep.
know, they got a lot of attrition, a lot of their retention is having a problem because they're not getting the results anymore, or getting the goals that they want.
Yep.
And so we go in and see, and every single time I swear I say, do you know what EAT is? And they all say, yeah, we've heard of it. We know what it is. And I say, okay, define it and tell me what it is. They give me the wrong answers every time.
Really?
Every time. When they say experience, what do they think? They think experience means the experience of
Their
the
own
website
experience.
owner.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because they always go, we've been in business since 1995. Google don't care. Google
Oh,
don't care. They only care, did the person who came to your site have a good time? That's all they care about. See, that's
Yeah.
where people always say, well, we, me. That's not what the experience is anymore. Or my website's fast. The experience is fast website, core vitals, fast website. That tricked everybody. That's not what it's about. Now, is fast website cool? Not core vitals. Core vitals is a fake. It's TTFB that's the problem, and what they call depth. It's server depth that Google will test now, which basically says,
How
can
far
you?
they go.
Yeah. Meaning, if I put 100 people on your webpage right now, will their experience degrade? Will it get worse? The more I add to your site, will all of a sudden their experience get worse? And they test that. So it's not about core vitals, because that's just a one visit test. What they test is to see what's going to happen to your site if 10 or more are there simultaneously.
Yes.
Now, so that
website-
means HostGator, all these cheap hosts, all these kinds of things, you will fail that experience test, because they're testing to see, if we send you a #1 listing, what's the experience going to be of the viewer? And if your website can't handle 10 or more people, you'll never get a #1 listing for more than 10 people
that's
at a time.
really
It's the truth. We've tested it 1,000 times. We've put it
we
through the
guys
test.
don't- Yeah, we guys don't really think that way. We guys always think it like for every user. You know what I mean? Like how the
Yeah.
but
Individualized. Yeah.
we did start thinking from the Google's perspective that, hey, what's gonna happen? I mean, like if I gonna put this particular guy on the #1,
Yeah.
they're like maybe simultaneously gonna have some kind of a sale or something going on, and there are like 100 people gonna come in straight away. So
There was
the
the problem is, for your listeners, and they're going to find this interesting. I got sunlight coming on my face, but they're going to find this interesting, is that that Google, I think you could find this somewhere, but the problem is that Google is not allowed to DDoS, or denial of service, your business. So if all of a sudden you got 100 visits from Google and your website went down because of it, who's in trouble? Google is now, and they got sued back in the day. So that means that if your website can't handle more than 10 people simultaneously, you will never get a #1 listing or ranking for anything greater than that, because Google can't take your site down. They literally can't take it down. So they can't kill you with success, meaning they can't all of a sudden make you #1 for a big
down in rankings, basically.
They did a thing, and
cool.
we also saw this. I don't know if you guys saw this, probably 8 or 9 months ago. Google started getting rid of junk websites in the index, meaning if your website was on HostGator, you started losing indexing. Like they said, we're not going to send traffic to sites that can't take more than 5 people.
Yes, shared hosting.
And they just started de-indexing. So all the staging sites that were out there got de-indexed. All the sites that were on the lowest hosting plan got de-indexed. Even if they were legitimate businesses, they got de-indexed, because they said, if you're not paying more than, if you're paying $7 for hosting, de-index. That's crappy. If you're a real business, you need to be a real business and pay at least $100 or more for hosting. Because if you're not paying $100 or more for hosting, we're going to de-index you.
Yep. No, you need to take it seriously. That's what
It's serious. Yeah. If you're doing this seriously and you're paying people to do this, why are you doing a cheap college dorm hosting plan?
No, that's a golden nugget, man.
It is. Well, it will be when people hear this and go, "Oh crap! If I just upgrade, you'll see the change." Meaning, if you speed up your server, your rankings are going to go up instantly.
No, Joseph, I'll admit this thing. I mean, like I've done a lot of podcasts. I've done a lot of courses. gone through so many courses. The people, they don't talk about all this. They just talk about those same things, and especially these days where the topical maps are kind of a trending term in the industry.
I
They hey,
know.
go with the tropical maps and you're good. You're gonna be the kind of
You're talking to the secret weapon right here, man.
oh yeah. So
Hmm.
that's the thing is. So
We rank in #1 spots for tens of thousands of keywords.
10,000. Now
We compete with Cartoon Network, we compete with Wikipedia, we compete with the top bosses in the world, but we beat them. I've beat Neil Patel in rankings on some things. Now, not anymore, because he came back when I posted about it in Twitter. He whooped my butt, man.
yeah,
You can't beat that guy, but I beat him temporarily with some of the things we're talking about. But I mean, it's all about just knowing the right things and doing it correctly.
that it makes
And
sense to your name, the way you have mentioned the Joseph top SEO star cat.
if you type that into Google, I'm #1.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah, if you type SEO star, top SEO star.com, stars.com is our website.
Ask all of the guests to whom I get it. The lead generation strategy. What is your lead generation strategy in your agency? Because I can literally see you are next level. So what is the kind, so the people who are just starting out, they are on a bootstrap budget, for example, who've been listening this podcast, what is the lead gen strategy you can tell them which can actually work?
Yeah. The best one for us that's literally got us even the last few clients this past week. We're doing, it's not a new strategy, but it's one that I learned at the beginning of the year. I'll give you a recent latest one that's working like gangbusters, and every agency listening to me can do this. Okay. And it's based on Facebook, and then you can do this on LinkedIn, but I've got these leads from Facebook. Okay. Cause there's tons of great groups out there where there's, if whoever your target market is, whatever local market that is, probably there's going to be a group out there somewhere. There's going to be people talking about, there's going to be something out there in either a LinkedIn group or a Facebook group where you can join, go and participate. Okay. So that's step one. Find a group where your prospects are talking, hanging out, not a group where there's no activity, but a group where you can do some research. Once you find that, then you go and look and see if there's questions you can answer. This is what got this is insane. It's super easy. And it got several really big clients just recently. And all we did was see their problem in Facebook and shoot a Loom video answering their question. It was just a Loom video, press Loom and said, hey, and titled it the question that you had, and then posted in that group the Loom video answer to their question. That Loom video answer got 2 or 3 prospects from other people that saw that answer.
That's all that answer. True.
Yeah. So not only that person goes, oh man, that's great. Thank you so much for the answer. Other people did. So we did that 2 or 3 times in that group, and we've already gotten 2 or 3 clients out of that this week. Now, that's how we've been doing it ever since February, because we learned this back in January. So that is so if you want a client, just go spend some time on Facebook and answer questions with Loom videos. And the title of the Loom video is the title of the question. Meaning, if somebody says, how do I get my website appearing in the map pack? How do I get how do I do that? And then you do a Loom video going, look, if you're here, then you need to go here on your webpage. You need to add a geographic to this page or whatever. And if somebody sees you do that, they go, oh man, this guy knows how to do that. I need that. Can he do that for me? I need that. And all the people in that group sees that. They go, I don't know how to do that. I need that.
And that's a lead.
Oh man, these are highly qualified leads too. That's the difference. We've been fishing and doing outbound and different stuff like that. And it's just a lot of work with very little return. This is super easy. And you're adding value to the group by adding video. You're not typing your answer. You're adding a video answer, and that's going to make you stand out right now. And
that do without spamming the
and it's not spamming. You're adding value. You're being a good person to everybody and saying, and you're not marketing. This is the other thing I want to say. Do not say, connect with me and become a client. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I'm answering your question. Here's how you do it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. And then they'll connect and go, oh, I want to connect with that person. Don't ask for it.
Yep.
Yeah, make it seem like you're just giving. And then the owners of the groups will even post, they'll let you post freely. You know what I mean? If you're adding value. And once you get the ability to post freely, then you can post, hey, I got a training video where I'm showing how I do this briefing thing or whatever. And they post that. Now you look like an authority.
Yep. No,
And other people will go, I want that guy. I want to book that guy. I want that guy to train me. That's how we get training gigs with agencies, is I just answer agencies' questions in the agency groups.
Oh, yeah.
And we've now been consultants for 7-figure agency, Josh Nelson 7-figure, the White Label Suite agency group, big time groups we're the trainers for.
Oh, yeah.
Because of this tactic or technique.
Oh, yes. No, that's great, man.
That's one of many, but your listeners will get really good value if they just do the Loom video strategy.
One of them, yes. No, that's good, man. No, thanks a lot, Joseph. I can't really tell you, man. There's a lot we can learn from this video. Anyone just watching this, I know like they can get a lot of value from it. There are a lot of nuggets.
The sun, look at the sun.
I feel like I need to catch you one more time sometime in the future on a call. But this time I need to give you a charge to actually share the screen and can show us something on a live call as well.
Oh yeah, I'd love to teach or train on a live call too. I've done that before.
No, definitely.
I could show them that whole process with Surfer and the prompt and Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I've done that on a live call too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll touch base with you in a couple of months from now if you want, if you agree with that. Because
oh yeah,
I think sharing is really very important. I mean, like giving away to the community, because especially this community has given a lot to all of us in some way or another. They definitely given a lot to everyone. I can say. So yeah, no, that's super good, man. If there is one thing as a concluding statement, you need to give some kind of advice to the people who are just starting out and have a dream to build out a 7-figure agency, what that would be. What kind of thing you want to tell them?
Our biggest advice, because we're Hum Jam, is to harmonize with the user's intent. That's it. That's the main thing. What is your customer's intentions? Harmonize with that. If you harmonize with that, everything else will just flow. All your content, everything, harmonize with their intent. Their pain, they're in trouble, they whatever, harmonize with that. You'll get what you need.
Yes. No, and in case they need to touch base with you, is it a LinkedIn could be the best way for it?
We have a new school group. Alex Ramosi started a thing. We started something called Marketing Optimizers Edge.
Yes.
And instead of search engine optimizers, now we call it marketing optimizers, because the search thing we believe is going away to more generative engine in the future. So marketingoptimizersedge.com will get you to that group. It's a free group. It's got ChatGPT scripts. It's got all kinds of free stuff there. And it's got my whole layout of the harmonic kind of system in that, if you want to, anybody interested in that. Or you could go to josephskahn.com. And you mentioned my ChatGPT little book and script. You could go there too and get that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll post that one in the video description as well. Can you actually type in the chat box for your book, on which you're talking about? Because I think we definitely should let people to actually get to that too. There is plenty they can learn from you. There's definitely you're a complete mind in itself.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's all. I'm hook, line, and sinker in love with this space, and that's all I think about is this space.
No, thank you once again, Joseph. I really appreciate for the time you have given us, man, and especially at this time in the morning when just starting out. But you just made our day. You're a legend, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for inviting me. And anytime, if you want me to come back and train or do everything, anytime, just let me know. We're here to add value to the market too. My son is my partner, And
Oh,
we
yeah.
love just helping people and training. And my favorite thing to do is train. So anytime, let me know. But we're here also to help the market as well. So anytime you need it, let me know.
If you are just keen, we can book some time together whenever you want. There is no
Yeah.
push of the thing, but the process which you showed, I know the reason for that is because I know a lot of people I can literally see who've been those sites were their bread and butter, to be honest, man.
Oh, yeah.
If we can add something, some value to them to bring back their earnings because maybe their family's been surviving because of this. So I think that can add a lot of value to their life. And eventually it's a karma. It's a karma in some way. So
It is. Can I give you one more thing for that?
whenever you want,
No, can I give you one more thing for your listeners for that?
please. Yes.
Okay, let me just give one more thing because I see this. I just saw it like in a training yesterday. Here's one thing: if you've got people that have lost stuff or whatever in the local business or whatever, make sure your local pages with your local area names have the geocode on the graphic that's appearing at the top of the page. That's all you got to do. If you make sure that the first image that's on that area page has the geocode of the area, you'll get that map pack back. That was killed in one of the algorithms. If you didn't have that, you got deranked. So that's all you got to do. If those who know what I'm talking about will hear me right now, the first image on your area pages, make sure it's geo encoded. That's all you need to do, and you'll get those rankings back.
Oh, yeah. So on the location,
That's all you need to do.
on the location page, the very first image, which is at the top, maybe after the first paragraph.
Yeah, it could be a picture of the workers doing the job, could be a picture of a customer testimonial, whatever that image needs to be. It needs to be geo encoded as if it came from an iPhone.
Yep. All right.
Yep. As long as that's done, they'll get their rankings back and they'll get their business back. That's the key here. We've tested it. It works. It's magic. I'm just leaving everybody with that piece of gemstone because if they just do that, they'll see their clients get their rankings back.
Yep. Top SEO star, man. That's the top SEO star stuff.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Joseph. And yeah, thanks for all the nuggets, man. And I'll definitely touch base with you one more time.
Yes.
We can do that session together and
Awesome.
definitely.
And you can train it and use it and, use the content, whatever.
Yes, yes, true.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can just prepare all those stuff together before the call so that we can just smash it out everything and show them on the screencast everything in 20 minutes to them.
I've already done it with many different podcasters, so I have it ready. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, no, I can after the call, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
do
cool.
one more thing because this stuff was heavily packed with all the nuggets and definitely
Awesome.
people watching this, they need more. They need more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. You take care of yourself, Joseph, and have a lovely
You too. You see my son coming in, so yeah.
The day has started. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.